Hello, the unstoppable. True elegance is not just in the way we dress or move. It's in the words we choose and the pauses we master. In a world where noise often drowns out wisdom, the ability to speak with elegance and sophistication is a rare and powerful art. It's not about flashy words or empty charm. It's about wielding language like a finely honed blade, cutting through the clutter with precision and grace. Imagine walking into a room and commanding attention, not through force or volume, but with the magnetic allure of carefully crafted speech. It's the kind of power that transcends appearance and leaves a lasting impression. In this guide, we delve into the timeless art of speaking with elegance, where every word carries weight and every silence draws others in, leaving them wanting more. Ready to discover how? Let's unlock the true essence of sophistication in speech. Number 1, articulate in layers, not linear. Speaking with elegance isn't just about sounding polished. It's about layering your thoughts in a way that keeps people engaged. Instead of offering a simple, flat response to a question or conversation, you can elevate your speech by weaving in subtlety, hinting at deeper meanings beneath the surface. When you speak in layers, you give your audience something to unpack, more than just the obvious, leaving room for interpretation. This creates a sense of intrigue and keeps them hooked on your every word. When someone asks a question, instead of giving a direct, blunt answer, you can respond in a way that provides insight while leaving them curious for more. It's not about being evasive, but rather suggesting that there's more to be considered without stating it outright. This kind of conversational layering makes people pay attention because they're not just listening, they're thinking. They're wondering if there's more to what you're saying, which keeps their focus on you. The elegance comes in your ability to lead people to conclusions without spoon-feeding them. It's a subtle art of suggestion. You allow others to feel involved in the conversation by leaving them space to interpret your meaning, rather than handing everything over too easily. Speaking like this not only demonstrates intelligence but creates an aura of sophistication. One where every word feels deliberate and every pause feels intentional. Number 2, timing is elegance. Timing in conversation is everything. Speaking with elegance isn't just about choosing the right words, it's about knowing to say them. The most sophisticated speakers understand that silence can be more powerful than speech. It's like this secret weapon nobody expects. While everyone else is racing to fill the gaps, the elegant speaker embraces those pauses, creating tension and curiosity. Think about it. When you don't rush to respond, people lean in. They wonder what's coming next. They hang on your silence just as much as your words. And here's the funny part. When you pause, people often assume you're deep in thought, even if you're just figuring out what to say next. That little gap gives you power. It makes you look deliberate and composed. There's nothing elegant about talking non-stop like you're afraid of losing your turn. In fact, filling every second with sound is the surest way to lose someone's attention. The key is to make your words land with purpose, not just noise. Speaking at the right moment is what leaves an impact. It's not about being mysterious or overly serious, but simply knowing when to hold back. The best part, it leaves others guessing, thinking, and wanting more. It's the conversational equivalent of letting the room breathe. Number 3, kill the filler, revive the point. Most people fill their speech with unnecessary words, cluttering their sentences with like, and you know. It's almost like they're apologizing for speaking, or worse, unsure if their words even matter. When you speak with elegance, you strip all of that away. Every word counts, and you don't need fillers to carry your message. Think of it like this. The fewer words you use, the more powerful each one becomes. Filler words are just noise, like static on a radio. They distract from the message and make you sound unsure. When you cut out the fluff, what's left is clean, sharp, and commanding. It's not about rushing to fill the silence, but about letting your words breathe. And guess what? That silence between your thoughts, that's where your confidence shows. You're not afraid to pause because you know that when you do speak, it's going to matter. It's about being direct, but not in a blunt way, more in a precise, intentional way. Each sentence has a purpose, and there's no need to dress it up with verbal padding. The elegance comes from that simplicity. People listen more carefully when they know you're not wasting their time with filler. It's like cutting through all the noise in a world that's constantly chattering, and suddenly, your voice is the only one that stands out. Number 4. Master subtle authority without overpowering. Elegance in speech isn't about being loud or overbearing. It's about commanding attention without forcing it. When you speak with subtle authority, you don't need to shout or dominate a conversation to make your presence known. It's all in how you frame your words. Instead of jumping in with "I think" or "you should," a more refined approach might be, "One might consider," or "There's something to be said for." It's a softer way to introduce your ideas, but it still carries weight. What makes this powerful is that you're not directly telling people what to think or do, yet your words guide them there anyway. It's like planting a seed in their mind and letting them come to the conclusion on their own, which often makes them more receptive to what you're saying. There's no need to overpower others to assert your point. In fact, the less forceful you are, the more people are drawn in. You're offering a path, not pushing them down it. It's the art of control without appearing controlling. You don't have to be aggressive or overly assertive to be taken seriously. The elegance is in your restraint, in how you present your ideas as possibilities rather than commands. People are naturally more inclined to listen to someone who doesn't feel the need to prove themselves. That quiet confidence does the proving for you. It's that delicate balance of leading a conversation without ever making it feel like you're leading at all. Number 5, tailor your vocabulary to the room without losing yourself. Speaking with elegance isn't about showing off how many big words you know. It's about using the right words for the right moment, no matter who you're talking to. The key is to adapt without losing your own sense of style. You should never dumb down your speech just to fit in, but you also don't need to sound like you're delivering a lecture in every conversation. It's about balance. When you speak to different people, you can adjust your vocabulary, tone, and pacing without sacrificing the sophistication of your message. In a casual setting, you might use simpler words but still find a way to add a little twist that sets you apart. For example, instead of saying something is nice, you might describe it as refreshing or charming. It's subtle, but it makes your speech feel more polished without being pretentious. Being adaptable doesn't mean blending in. It means being smart about how you communicate, knowing when to dial it back or when to push a little further. True elegance is about maintaining that sense of refinement, no matter who's listening. It's not about being flashy or complicated, but about letting your intelligence shine through in a way that feels natural and effortless. When you do this, people will notice that there's something different about the way you speak. Even if they can't quite put their finger on it, that's where the real elegance lies. Being versatile without losing your identity. Number 6. Diction is your secret weapon. Diction, the way you pronounce and articulate your words, is one of the most overlooked aspects of elegant speech. Yet it's the foundation of how people perceive you. You can have the smartest ideas in the world, but if your words come out sloppy or unclear, it instantly takes away from your presence. Elegance is not just about what you say, but how you say it. Crisp pronunciation makes your speech sound intentional, and that's where the sophistication comes in. Think about it. When someone speaks with clear diction, their words hit with more impact. Every consonant, every vowel lands with precision, leaving no room for misunderstanding. When you mumble, slur, or drop letters, it's like watering down your thoughts. On the other hand, when your speech is sharp, people don't just hear you, they listen. There's no stumbling or second-guessing what you're saying, because your words are carrying the exact meaning you intend. But this doesn't mean you need to sound robotic or overly formal. It's about finding that balance where your speech feels natural but deliberate. When you take the time to enunciate properly, it signals that you respect the conversation and the people involved. You're showing that what you have to say is worth hearing, and you're giving it the clarity it deserves. That kind of respect for your own words naturally draws respect from others. What's powerful about good diction is that it commands attention without demanding it. People may not even consciously realize why they're so focused on what you're saying, but it's because every word is landing exactly where it should. That's the secret weapon. being understood, not just heard, and doing so in a way that makes people want to hear more. Number 7. Resist the temptation to over-explain. One of the most refined traits in elegant speech is the ability to resist over-explaining. Too many people feel the need to justify every word, filling their conversations with unnecessary details or explanations. It's like they're begging for validation, as if their ideas aren't strong enough to stand on their own. But when you speak with true sophistication, you trust that what you've said is enough, and you leave it at that. When you avoid over-explaining, you communicate confidence. You're showing that you don't need to convince anyone. You know your point is valid, and you're not desperate for approval. This restraint creates a certain mystique, where people are drawn to you because they want to know more. The less you say, the more powerful your words become. The elegant speaker knows that not everything needs to be spelled out. There's a beauty in letting people fill in the gaps for themselves. It not only engages their minds, but it also shows that you respect their intelligence. Over-explaining, on the other hand, can feel condescending, like you're assuming they don't get it. By saying just enough, you invite them to think, to ask questions, to be part of the conversation, rather than just a passive listener. It's like putting just the right amount of seasoning in a dish. Too much, and it becomes overwhelming. But with just the right touch, it enhances the flavor and leaves people wanting more. That's how your words should be: precise, impactful, and never diluted by unnecessary elaboration. Number 8. Speak with purpose, not for performance. When you speak with elegance, you're not performing for an audience. You're communicating with purpose. Too many people fall into the trap of talking just to impress, saying things because they think it'll make them sound good, or because they crave attention. But elegant speech comes from a place of authenticity, where every word serves a function, not an ego. Speaking with purpose means that everything you say has a reason behind it. You're not filling the air with noise, and you're not throwing out random thoughts hoping something sticks. There's a sense of intention behind your words, like each one is carefully chosen to move the conversation forward or to express a specific idea. This gives your speech a kind of power that others can't help but notice. When you're not trying to perform, you remove the pressure to be perfect or to impress. You're speaking because you have something to say, not because you want applause. Ironically, that's when people are most drawn to you, when you're not seeking their validation. They can sense the authenticity in your voice, and it makes them pay attention. It's the difference between someone who's constantly looking for approval and someone who speaks because they believe in their message. The first person might get a few nods, but the second person leaves a lasting impression. Speaking with purpose also makes you a more thoughtful communicator. You're not just blurting out whatever comes to mind. Instead, you take the time to reflect on what's really important to say, and that consideration comes through in your speech. At the end of the day, elegance in speech isn't about putting on a show. It's about making every word matter. And when you do that, people don't just hear you, they feel the weight of what you're saying. In the end, speaking with elegance and sophistication is less about adhering to rigid rules and more about embodying a mindset of intentionality and respect. It's about making every word count, mastering the art of timing, and understanding that true elegance lies in the power of restraint and authenticity. When you communicate with purpose, embrace the art of subtlety, and ensure your diction is precise, you don't just participate in conversations, you elevate them. By avoiding the trap of over-explaining and maintaining a genuine focus on your message, you command attention effortlessly. In a world saturated with noise, your refined speech becomes a beacon of clarity and grace. So, let your words be deliberate, your pauses meaningful, and your presence unwavering. This is the essence of speaking with elegance, and it's a powerful way to leave a lasting impression on everyone you encounter. If you enjoyed these tips on speaking with elegance, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more insights. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more ways to refine your communication skills. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now and stay blessed.